Now we're going to move on to hard questions, which actually our guest producer here, ASG, has presented this one. Let's go ahead and drop out Chris and Double D here.
Oh,
sorry. Hit the wrong button. Yeah.
Dan really wanted to stay, man.
Yeah.
Really wanted to. What do we got? What do you got for us for hard questions this week?
Okay. Well, it was part of what Hannah was asking about. And the question is it good or bad that they're making 5-pointers more accessible or guessable or what have you? You know, this year has been very different with the 5-pointers, and Christian has even said on other shows, I believe backstage, that he's trying to make the 5-pointer more of questions that people can play along with and also more guessable for the competitors. I'm not sure how I feel about this because, it will make it so that people answer 5-pointers more frequently. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What do you think?
I definitely see both sides of it. On the good side of it would be it enhances the competition because the person who may not know the answer without those little hints can now get the answer, and it can make it more dramatic and more it enhances the competition a little bit. But then on the flip side of it, I don't want to say that it does this, so I would just ask the question. Present the question, does it take away from the competition? Does it dilute the competition a little bit by doing that? Because, are you kind of lowering the bar? Isn't that kind of what you're doing? There are definitely two sides of it, but both sides, I don't know.
I think it does a little. As a viewer, like, the thing I like about the 5-pointer is, one, they're often more plot specific, so you can't guess unless if you've seen the movie a lot of times. And two, I like the aspect of the competitor knowing something that I don't know. So I'm like actually in awe of the fact that they're able to get this question that I'm like, what? How is that even possible that they could come up with that answer? And, it removes some of that, like, oh, these people really are really great at the game factor for me.
I just thought of a little analogy here. I like to use baseball for analogies. I don't know how close this is, but it might be kind of in the same ballpark, all pun intended. Okay, so say you've got your pitchers. Each team has a pitcher. And you've got two closing pitchers. One closing pitcher, he can throw a curveball. The other one can't throw a curveball. So we make a rule in baseball that says in the eighth and after starting with the 8th and 9th innings, no one can throw curveballs just to kind of make it a little more even in a way. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not the best analogy, but am I somewhere kind of close where, like, you're basically saying, or actually, to throw it back to Schmodown, the other person, he gets a good guess because he hasn't seen the movie, but the other person has seen the movie. Well, doesn't that really fall on the fault of the competitor who's not seen the movie? In other words, isn't that his fault for not learning how to throw a curveball? Why is the person who put in the work and watched the movie or learned to throw a curveball, why are they being hindered in a way? Maybe hindered isn't the right word, but why are they being told that their knowledge and their hard work is going to be lessened a little bit so that the other person has a better, not advantage, but a more even playing field there? That's what rubs me a little bit wrong about it. But like I said, I've not taken a solid stance on it either.
Yeah, that's been a big factor for players like Chance Ellison, where in previous seasons, it's been, his competitor hit the 5-pointer, he didn't, and therefore he loses the match. And, it's also a harder thing to study for, because how do you study for a 5-pointer? So this time, playing against the kid, he hit it. And Shannon even made a big deal of, who says Chance can't hit 5-pointers? And, maybe, and now there's still, even now, that lingering question of, could he have hit it before if it was on that level of difficulty. Yes, they were on par of difficulty between the kid and Chance, but could the kid have hit his if it was harder and Chance not hit? You'll never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is a hard one. It really is a hard one. I don't know. For me though, right now, if I write down the pros and cons, the cons are outweighing the pros at the moment. But that again goes back to I'm more of a sports guy and not the entertainment type guy. So for me, like if I'm looking at it from just a competition standpoint, I would not be in favor of that. But if you want to look more toward, because like Christian has said, this is not a traditional sport, and I'm starting to loosen up on my thinking there. So I mean, I don't know, man. It is what it is. First of all, us sitting around talking about it ain't going to change nothing anyway.
But I do think for the number one contender in the title matches, maybe you up the difficulty there. Even if for a regular match, or even for the pay-per-view, I forget exactly what Oyama's and Bibiani's 5-pointer were, but they definitely were, I'd say, at least for me, more challenging. So, yeah, as long as for number one contender in title matches, I for a regular match, I'm not as, I guess, hard line against it as if it was like a title match where that could be a big deciding factor for getting a belt.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys think, either in the comments here on YouTube or in the comments later on after you've watched the replay or wherever you see anything concerning this. I'll be putting the clips up here later on the Schmodown fan page and a couple others. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.